Now it's time for quiz 1 in econ, but I think we need to review first. The Securities and Exchange Commission regulates the blank. Stock market. Most regulations have to do with the blank of the individual who may be a customer of the business or a worker within the business. Safety. After all, a consumer wants to know that he can blank in the quality of the food or the safety of a toy he purchases. Trust. A worker wants the well-being of being able to be in a workplace that does not pose blank to him. Danger. True or false? The Federal Communications Commission regulates radio and television to the extent of licensing stations and policing programming. True. True or false? The Federal Aviation Administration regulates the airlines. True. True or false? The Securities and Exchange Commission regulates the stock market. True. True or false? The Interstate Commerce Commission polices monopolistic practices. True. True or false? The National Labor Relations Board regulates and oversees television practices. False. True or false? The Federal Trade Commission regulates all newspapers. False. True or false? The Federal Reserve Board regulates the postal system. False. True or false? The Food and Drug Administration assesses all foods and drugs consumed. True. How does inflation affect businesses? In the first place, it hurts all creditors, but it helps debtors. When the money supply is increasing faster than the supply of goods and services, what is that called? Inflation. The chief principle in the biblical passages Leviticus 19:13 and Deuteronomy 24 verses 14 and 15 on management is what? Fairness. In a corporation, the manager is a blank between his employees and top management. Go-between. What people would make entrepreneurial decisions in a corporation? Top management and the board of directors. What is operational management? The day-to-day operation of a business. An important part of a Christian's obligation as a manager is to be fair to his workers. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither blank him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. Okay, neither rob him. Where is this found? Leviticus 19:13. After Christmas is a time when the businesses wish to move a lot of blank and ready themselves for the next sales season. Inventory. A deduction from a full purchase amount that is repaid to the consumer is called a rebate. True or false? If a car salesman says, "We don't have one in stock, but maybe we can find one," buy the available car immediately and take advantage of this sale. True or false? False. If the car dealer will not or cannot show you the repair orders or identify a former owner, you should not buy the car. True or false? True. Have a mechanic friend look for hidden damage repairs on new and used cars. True or false? True. True or false? A demo car means that the car is showroom new and a good deal. False. True or false? The end of year white sale is a sale on office supplies. False. According to the Reader's Digest article, how can you save money when it comes to cars? Okay, you can save money by keeping your car for 10 years before you buy another one. Restrictions and rules governing business conduct. Regulations. Codes and rules instituted for the safety of a structure and the well-being of its inhabitants. Building standards. Specific district allowances and restrictions usually governing the flow of business. Zoning laws. To make payment to financially award a person. Compensate. Actual money's worth for buying products. Purchasing power. A continuing increase in prices and weakening of the purchasing power of money. Inflation. Specifications and safety measures required for buildings. Fire codes. Granting of official permission to perform a service. Licensing. Wage increases that compete with higher consumer prices in an over-escalating upturn. The wage price spiral. Legally binding written agreement between purchaser and seller. Contract. Acting within the good principles of society and within the accepted rules of proper business is called acting ethically. When shopping, be sure to check prices or on comparable items. It is also a good idea to check the store's blank and blank. Return policy and warranty. One way to save at the supermarket is to get information on sales. You can do this by looking in newspaper ads, TV or radio commercials, or even the blank. The Internet. Let the buyer beware. Caveat emptor. A guarantee that is legally binding to the company who issues it. Warranty. An instrument used to measure the distance traveled by a vehicle. The odometer. Guidelines by which a product may be brought back by the purchaser to the seller for an exchange. Return policy. True or false? In getting a rebate, the original receipt may be required. True. Risk-taking management involves making the basic decisions that affect the future of the business and is called operational management. False. What are the two aspects of management? Entrepreneurial and operational. The test of an entrepreneurial decision is whether or not there is a recognizable profit or loss. True or false? True. Concerning Southwest Airlines' success, researchers agree on one point: treat everyone with kindness and respect. True or false? True. It is the manager's job to blank the wishes of top management in such a way as to motivate employees to carry out these wishes. Communicate. In a corporation, the manager is the blank between his employees and top management. The go-between. Paul wrote in Ephesians, "And ye blank, do the same things unto them, forbearing, threatening." And ye masters, do the same thing unto them. Knowing that your blank also is in heaven, neither is there respect of persons with him. Master is in heaven. Management by blank has no place in Christian management. Fear. Walt's fellow workers are going on strike since the price of food has increased dramatically within the last 14 months. They are looking to get a higher salary. This continual rise in salaries and consumer goods prices is known as a blank. Wage price spiral. Specifications and safety measures required for buildings. Fire codes. Actual money's worth for buying products. Purchasing power. Legally binding written agreement between purchaser and seller. Contract. To make payment to financially award a person. Compensate. True or false? Inflation equals more money plus fewer goods. True. Some businesses have stricter guidelines and even have their prices regulated. These price-regulated businesses are normally monopolies like blank. Electric companies. The Federal Communications Commission regulates what? Radio and television to the extent of licensing stations and policing programming. Name different types of state and local level regulations that a business might have to abide by. Okay, local level regulations would be businesses must meet certain building standards, fire codes, and zoning laws. State level regulations, many businesses are subject to extensive regulations such as licensing. Okay, I want you to go through and I want you to study this. If you have problems with any of this, I want you to go back and study it again. Make sure you know it before you take this quiz.